Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to Friday, which only means one thing. Welcome to Runescape 3 Marketwatch. So in terms of updates this week, nothing too big. We have Leagues Week 2 and the updates relating to that. And also a very interesting news post relating to Heist and the Thieving skill increase coming towards the end of the year. Now, because it looks so good, I'm going to be doing a little extra video on the weekend for you guys where we're going to go over a couple of the things they've put in that. It actually looks very promising and it looks like they've got some really new ideas for the 120 thieving, which is such a good thing. When we've had some of these 120s before, it's a little bit rehashed. It seems a little bit rushed, where this one seems to have some real details and some real thought processes into how to do thieving in a fun and productive way. However, we are not here for that. We are here for one thing and one thing only. We are here for Runescape 3 Marketwatch. And in this series, we go through the Runescape 3 Grand Exchange on the homepage, where we go through price rises and price falls and let you guys know of any money making methods, price falls or price rises where you can make a little bit more money in your Runescape 3 gameplay. So without further ado, we will start with the price rises for this week. And as always, we're going to skip the cosmetics or anything going up in price because they're not really anything we can benefit from too massively. So starting off with a Rune Dart is currently up to 60 GP each, and a Spring up in price 2.3k. I do think with Springs, when they sort of hit that 1.7 to 1.8k mark, it's always a worthwhile time to invest because they always will go up because the demand will always be there. We have Buckets of Sand at 172 GP each, and Magic No Paper on its way up 524. Now, we did pick that out last week to say that is something I would invest in at the price it was. Anytime Magic No Paper starts with a 4, it's definitely worth investing into because, again, non-members can use Magic No Paper, low-level accounts can use Magic No Paper. It's so useful in certain situations, it's always worth picking up in my opinion. We have Keys of a Crossing at 224k, a Ranar Seed at 1.5, in soft clay over 1,000 coins for the first time in a little while. Since I think 120 crafting was released, crafting the soft clay is up a little bit for that. We have a Magic Seed at 29.5k, a Fire Orb at 198, and a Cavefish at 711. And a Clean Marintil, still one of the best performing herbs in the game, even at such a low level, 5.3k for that. We have the Zombie Walk Override at 518.9 mil. Potato Cactus at 668, one to keep an eye on because that could definitely go up quite quickly because it was at such a low base price. And very similar as well, Bronze Bars going up to 1.5k. That is one of the lowest prices I've seen in Bronze Bars for the past couple of months this year, quite comfortably in the 2 to 2.2k mark. For it to be that low, it was always going to have a bit of a bounce, but a great non-member money making method if you wanted to start playing as a non-member. And speaking of non-members, we have our final episode of the Escaping Free to Play series coming out tomorrow, so make sure to stick around for that. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Don't forget, on that first video, we are still running the contest if you wanted to participate in winning that bond. Ghosty Essence is 6.4k for that. Pie-Seed 177, Inert Adrenaline Crystal as well, 1.4k, nearly 1.5. Serenic Scale 38.9, Palm Tree Seeds 998, a Greater Ritual Candle 2.2k there, and a U Seed at 784 GP. Ashes are slightly up in price, 1.3k, and again a fantastic way to go and train your combat stats is for Abyss. And Abyss, as long as you've got the Tome of the Underworld 2, it will bank the Ashes for you, so you can make money while training at the Abyss, which is such a good way for you to level up your combat stats. We have Seaweed at 129, Normal Chinchompers at 236, a Pineapple Seed at 289, Smoke Runes 890 GP each, and a Cursed Ashes 521. We have a Ring of Dueling at 5.1k each, and I've always said this about Ring of Dueling, and I've said it for the past couple episodes as well. Check the price because more often than not, they will go over their mid-price because they're a very niche item. I don't suppose many people make them, but whenever I've dealt with Rings of Dueling as a money-making method, they are always over mid. We have Raw Rat Meat at 1.1k each. We have a Pot of Cream at 1.4k. Blue Dye at 3.3k and a Dragonstone at 4.7. That's quite a high price for a Dragonstone. Not really seen it that high for a little while. Willow Logs 1.1k and very similar to the Dragonstones. Battle Staff's up in price as well, 4.7k for that. Again, another item which is definitely up in price. And the good thing with crafting nowadays is there's so many other methods, but it does seem that crafting supplies are a little bit higher once we go a little bit further down. We have Silverhawk Feathers at 4.3k each, Blue Blubber Jellyfish 10.2, a Oak Plank at 1,000 coins, Royal Dragon Leather 2.9k each, which again, very similar to the Battle Staffs in the Dragonstone, is up in price. I would say though, Royal Dragon Leather is one of the best ways to train for crafting speed, but also pull in a little bit of a profit. You won't make as much as what you would with the other two methods, but the speed of Royal Dragon leather crafting is definitely worthwhile. So going down a little bit further, we have the Willow Seed at 208, Green Dragon Hide 554, Blue Dragon Hide 975, both of them going up. And don't get me wrong, the prices for both were insanely cheap. I mean, 550 coins for a Green Dragon Hide is still really, really cheap. You're still going to be making a substantial profit crafting that into a Green Dragon body. But it's interesting to see that the trend of this week seems to be that crafting items are going back up. We have Maple Logs at 374 GP each, Toothfile for the keys 9.6k, Raw Swordfish 335 GP each, and a Marble Block just over 3,000 coins. We have a Clean Eris at 987, a Clean Heartlander at 4.2k, which is a little bit rogue. I don't really know why that's so expensive, but again, here we are. Steel Arrowheads are 40 GP, Iron are 20. We have a Tomb Shroom Sport 473, Primal Starter 194k, a Feral Dinosaur unchecked 3.3 mil, but those are very, very niche and those spikes in prices are massive. A Cooked Rocktail 566 GP each, Nightmare Pouch 54.1, an Abyssal Wand 344.5k, and then finally Masterwork Plate Legs 23.3 mil. So again, apart from crafting, no real trends this week, but crafting is quite significant there. You have 3 of the top tier ways to train it, as well as the other 2 Dragon Hides starting to pick up as well. But there's still a few things in here which I think are relatively cheap. Again, Potato Cactus has the potential to spike. Bronze Bars are still very cheap in my opinion. Again, not really much use from them, but the crafting items especially are ones to keep an eye on. I haven't seen those items that kind of price in a little while, so who knows, but there is definitely a push in the price of crafting supplies. Now, on to price falls. So as always, we're going to go and skip things which aren't relevant and aren't important, so a lot of price falls relates to like cosmetics and stuff. But Tuskar's Wrath ability is still on the way down, 6.6 mil for that. Again, if you don't have it, definitely buy it, but while it's in free fall, and just keep biding your time and you'll get it for a cheaper price. Ectoplasm, nearly 1,000 coins, again, very cheap there. Flesh Runes, 482, and Spirit Runes, 51 GP each. We have regular Ghost Ink at 7,000 coins, which, in my opinion, with the sort of repetition of how quick these goes up and down, I think when the inks are at a low price, they are definitely worth an investment. Because more often than not, you'll just have to wait till like a double XP and they will go up as a result of that as well, because rituals will be such good XP. Ascension Keystone, 96k, which I think at that price, if you're looking to do the boss logs, very much worthwhile. I think then put all the Ascension Keystones into one, and I just think that for the boss log is such a good price, because at some point, those crossbows will go up in price again, and even if you don't sell them for a time and hold on to them, you can make money from it. We have Magical Thread, 769.8k, Primal Stone Spirits 12.5, Bone Rune 335, and Teakwood Spirit for whatever reason is 824 GP each. We do also have the Iron Bar down, nearly 1,900 coins, which again, very similar to the Bronze Bar, is very cheap for these free-to-play bars. Normally, like, they are very solid and they keep their price. If anything, they're always a bit expensive because they're free-to-play, but it seems that they're on the way down, so definitely one to use if you are needing to do some iron smithing. Cannonballs 1.2k, again, stock up on these because they'll probably bounce in a couple of months when some form of change happens or people come back to the game and want to use Cannonballs for Slayer. Always a very solid buy, and for me, I'll probably wait till they go down to 1,100 and then put like a big 100k offer or something in. Just so I've got them, I will use them for my slaying and all that sort of stuff. We have Nature Runes 386, definitely one to stock up on if you use machines, especially your Alkas. Really good time to stock. That is a very cheap price for a Nature Rune. We have Quam Incense Sticks 18.8k. We have Lustrous Energy 281. Necrite very cheap at 3.6k, and Star Bloom Cloth coming down now to a price of 78.8. Really interested to see what price this will stop at, because at some point it'll be profitable to go and craft the base armors, very similar to how you do up to a +5 armor or a bow or a staff. When it gets to a point where the crafting will become profitable. Once I finish leagues, that's one of the money makers I really want to delve in and look into, and I think it'd be very nice to see what kind of profit we make. We have Greater Ghosty Ink 10.4k there, definitely one to look into and continue watching it fall down because you can make a lot of profit with that. Papaya Fruit 3.2k, Bainite Ore 4,000 coins each, Bowstrings 674, and an Uncut Ruby 407 GP. We have Orgone at 8.3k, Grimy Torstols 3.5, Grimy Worms 290, and a Torstol Incense Stick at 16.1. We have Sandstone and a 2k block, 2,000 coins, Impure Essence 162, and Lesser Necroplasm 191. We have a Willowwood Spirit 7.8k, Divine Charge at 68, a Steel Bar at 2.1, and also an Amulet of Magic 2,000 coins each. We have an XP Capacitator at 3 mil, binding contracts for Ripper Demon 103k, and Org Bones from Bandos at 9.7. Dark Arrow Heads of 491, Unfinished Broad Bolts at 30, and Ascension Shards fully on that crash 1.6k. We have Spider Venom at 1.5k each, Zygomite Fruit at 252, Spring Sheared Wool at 17.7, and Draconic Energy at 384.7k. Eternal Magical Log still going down 2.4, Astrals 444, Vital Sparks 281.5k, and Powerful Necroplasm at 545. Congealed Blood 1.2k each, a Dragon Rider Lance down to 28.6 mil, and Grimy Flax 3.7. Possibly want to invest and to get your machines to turn into the unfinished potions, because brew prices will always come back at some point. And with the secondary being nests, it's always going to be a cheap secondary as well. Whether you want to do the herb for yourself or sell them on, that's always a good shout. We have White Berries at 2,000 coins each, Lantern Incense Sticks 18.2, Luminous Energy 180 GP each, and a Yak Milk at 108k. We have a Black Dragon at 209k, and then finally the Star Bloom Flower Seed at 50,000 coins. So that is price falls for this week. Definitely more interesting price falls than price rises. There's a lot of items here which you could potentially invest in on the back of a double XP come in around November or sort of December. Cannonballs, always a solid thing to invest in. Nature Runes as well, always solid. 386 is quite a low price. Starboom Cloth, the inks, the herb secondaries, and also the oil prices are also very interesting. Especially something like Bainite, you could go and make Bainite into bars, make it into plate bodies +5, and then wait for that double XP. I think that is probably like the big time to get profit now, is to slowly buy those items and do them in your AFK time between double XPs, and then when that double XP is announced, sell it for the big profit then. But yeah, pretty standard week. Hopefully within a week or two, we will be back to the normal sort of Mainscape content. Still enjoying Leagues, so I'm still going to keep pumping the videos out for Leagues. But over the next couple of weeks, you'll still see a couple more of the normal RS3 moneymakers and guides coming out. So if there's anything you guys want me to cover or show you guys, make sure to drop them in the comments and let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.